There's a 99% chance that as a startup founder or early employee of a startup, you've either had to sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, or you are at least presented with one. Everyone thinks their idea is so valuable that before they tell anyone, they must get the other person to sign. Hey, I get it, I've been there. But if you've ever pitched your company for investment, you know that no investor will sign an NDA. For one, it's difficult to enforce, and two, it would restrict them from hearing about other founders who might have the same or similar idea to you. That's not to say that NDAs can't be a useful tool for startup founders. They do have a place in your company, but there is a clause that essentially makes NDAs worthless, and that is perpetual confidentiality. Too often, most NDAs toss around the term perpetual confidentiality. These terms must be held in perpetuity, like it's a simple ask. But here's the truth, it's not enforceable. Think about it. Businesses evolved, people come and go, and what was a secret today might be tomorrow's old news. As your startup grows, ensuring that everyone sticks to a perpetual vow of silence isn't just hard, it's impossible. Imagine trying to juggle the confidentiality of hundreds of pieces of information. As your business scales, people move on, these documents that contain all these obligations, they start disappearing. Keeping this under wraps indefinitely is a logistical nightmare. In the startup world, NDAs are like the gatekeepers of your secret. It's a super common agreement and the exchange occurs very quickly, usually without anyone even reviewing the document. Just in case anyone's new to this, I'll give a quick little background on NDAs or non-disclosure agreements. It's basically a contract that keeps your secrets a secret. It's crucial to get NDAs signed before any sensitive information is shared during meetings, especially if you're the vendor and you're pitching it to a customer, and if you're getting into any in-depth discussion. This timing is essential because you want to protect your ideas from that very first serious conversation with your potential customer, or if you're the customer, with your potential vendor. But here's the thing about secrets, like last week's sushi. They don't always age well. What's vital today and confidential might be worthless tomorrow thanks to new technologies and market shifts. So what's the ideal term? I say no more than a 7-year term for confidentiality. That's more than enough time to genuinely protect sensitive information without chaining you to an eternal vow. Unless it's something evergreen like a trade secret. Trade secrets definitely should be carved out from that and be held in perpetuity. So that's something that you should, and it's acceptable to keep in perpetuity. Everything else, 7 years max. The reason why I'm so against these perpetual terms in these NDAs is that most courts won't enforce them. It's complex, it's messy, and it's legally shaky. Plus, certain data privacy laws dictate how long you can hold on to certain information. When you're setting up an NDA, keep these tips in mind. Always check which laws govern the agreement and make sure you are only obligated to delete any confidential information upon the other party's written request. And finally, mutuality is key. Always request a mutual NDA. If you're wrestling with clauses that make your head spin, drop them in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe, tap the notification bell to stay on top of all things legal for SaaS startups.